Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to talk some pretty exciting PC game news. Final Fantasy 16, one of the biggest, I should say. Best is a little bit subjective, but one of the biggest game releases of the year has officially dropped on PlayStation 5, and there's been an ongoing story on whether or not the game is going to be coming to PC. The timed exclusivity that Sony's honestly incredibly whack for even implementing, and I'm sure as this FTC Microsoft trial continues to go on, people are starting to realize how whack Sony is for their timed exclusivity gimmick, but nonetheless, I've been talking about how lame it is for a long time, but Final Fantasy 16 does look like it'll be coming sometime in the future for PC. We'll talk about that. It's on Yoshi P's to-do list. It's gonna be the next thing he probably works on. And I have an update on Metal Gear The Collection. A little bit of controversy surrounding that with the Steam listing, and the Steam listing has since been pulled. We'll talk that at the end of this video, because it looks like a lot of the uproar may have been overblown because they're going back and reworking the Steam page. So we'll talk that at the end of this video. As noted on PC Gamer, speaking on a recent stream, Yoshida said that the PC version still needs work in order to mirror the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Let's hope it's much better than the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Look, I played the game. Square Enix gave me a copy of the game, and I had a fantastic time with it. Really enjoyed the game, but on performance mode, that game's resolution really does dip, and it cannot maintain 60 frames per second. The quality mode is nice at a lock 30 frames per second if you're, if you like 30 FPS, but for me, a fast-paced action game like this, you really want that higher frame rate. So I played it on the performance mode, even though the performance was dipping, and as people have pointed out, it does dip to, 720p, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Hopefully, we'll get a nice port of it, specifically citing its lack of loading screens when traveling between locations and transitioning from cutscenes to gameplay. Yoshida says the team hasn't had the time to optimize the PC version of the game because they've been busy with the PS5 version. That is essentially him saying that Sony paid them a good deal of money. Like, that's the only reason that happened. Like, let's be honest, Sony paid Square Enix for timed exclusivity. It looks like in the case of this, based on the trailer, it was 6 months of timed exclusivity. Now, is FF16 gonna come out in the early portion of 2024? I don't know, maybe, but I would imagine that it's going to be sometime in 2024. I saw some people thinking that it's going to be years. I know Final Fantasy 15 took, what was it? It was, I think, 16 months, 18 months, around that range. I don't think FF16 is going to be as long of a turnaround. Yoshi P continued noting we will be sharing more about the PC version when the time is right. Please look forward to it. I don't think they can share any more about a potential PC version until that timed exclusivity period is up, so keep that in mind as well, because generally speaking, I don't think they announce, like, when you have a timed exclusive, I don't believe they announce the game coming to a certain platform until the timed exclusivity period is up. I might be wrong about that. I don't remember how it worked with Ghostwire Tokyo or Deathloop, but generally speaking with Final Fantasy, I feel like that's been the case, and Final Fantasy 16's PC version is something that's been talked about for a long time. When the trailer initially dropped for this game, revealing the game, it did also say something like also coming to PC, but then they went back on that and say, hey, that's not happening. We'll see how it ultimately turns out. Again, I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 16. I completed the game. It is very much an action game. Like, let's not get it twisted. If you like the original Final Fantasy games with tons of depth in the RPG mechanics, that's really not there here. It's a lot of fun. What is really good in this game, I think, is the combat, utilizing different abilities, seeing what, works for you and what abilities you like to use, and transitioning between the different ability sets. That's fun, and they allow unlimited respec, so you can constantly experiment with things, and that is enjoyable. Bear in mind, not an open world. There are some open levels to an extent that allow for some exploration, but it is a contained experience. But that's not a bad thing. If a game is a linear, I don't think that automatically means it's bad. It's a different kind of Final Fantasy, and 15 definitely had action-oriented gameplay, but it was in this bigger open world. 16, it's more of these levels that you go through, but the cinematics in the game are tremendous, and you can see there's some, like, Sony-style presentation to the game in the sense that Sony games like a God of War 2018, a God of War Ragnarok, they have these gargantuan big-budget cutscenes. You really see that with FF16 as well, and I would say FF16, look, I've played just about every single PlayStation exclusive that's ever come out. The cinematics in Final Fantasy 16 lap around every PlayStation exclusive that I've played, and, there's some impressive scenes in both God of War games, Spider-Man, etc., etc. Final Fantasy 16, the cinematics are on another level. I think it's absolutely whack, though, that Sony is paying for timed exclusivity if it is the same thing as FF7 Remake. Like, we don't know what officially those deals are. and the wording of it, but I don't even know if FF16 is going to come to Xbox. FF7 Remake hasn't come to Xbox, and yeah, you can make the argument that that's such a small portion of the install base for Final Fantasy, but you know, still, there's people on that platform that probably would play the game, and Final Fantasy 16 is one of those Final Fantasy titles that I feel like could be like, they're always easy jumping points because every game is different from one another, but this does have a vibe and a tone to it that I think can be accessible to more of a Western audience, and I think that was the idea, to get Final Fantasy 16 more appeal to a wider range of people, and I think they did achieve that. But if you're going to limit the game to only PlayStation and PC as well, you know, that's not going to be a huge, because it's not like Xbox Series X's and S's are selling a ton, but it would be nice if it was on the Series X and S, but who knows how it would run on the Series S. I imagine to get it run on the Series S, it would be like maybe a 1080p mode, and it would be locked to 30 frames per second or something like that. I mean, Starfield at the end of the day is going to be 1440p, 30 FPS on the Series S, so if Starfield can run on the Series S, I think Final Fantasy 16 can, but we'll see how the PC version turns out. Hopefully the port is good. I think Yoshida is going to be one that wants to get it right when it does come to PC, so, you know, I'm excited for a potential PC version. I'll definitely check it out. And what will be interesting to see as well, is it going to be a title that, can Final Fantasy 16 run on like the Steam Deck? Can it run on the Asus ROG Ally? That'll be fascinating to see. I mean, yo, I played Jedi Survivor on my ROG Ally, and it's not bad. So if Star Wars Jedi Survivor can run, I mean, it's not great, but, like, it's playable. If Jedi Survivor could run, I think they could get Final Fantasy 16 running on the, you know, gaming handhelds. We'll see. That's a maybe, but, will be interesting to see if that comes to fruition. Lastly, I do want to note, a lot of talk about Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 coming to PC, and the Steam pages went up for a while. It was Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. They all went live, and they did have a statement in it that said that the game does not support keyboard and mouse, and everybody was up in arms about that. Since then, the official Metal Gear Twitter account did put out a tweet. Notice regarding Steam, we are currently working on releasing the pre-order page for Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 on Steam. We will release details about the page as soon as possible. We thank you for your patience and understanding. I saw some people get worried thinking that, hey, is this game going to be a Epic Game Store exclusive since they're pulling it from Steam? It looks like that's not the case. I do wonder if it was pulled because of the keyboard and mouse thing. We'll see how that turns out. Remember, this collection is going to include MGS 1, 2, and 3. It is going to be $60, but you can buy the games separately for $19.99 a pop. So, you know, probably most people are just going to get the collection. $60 is pricey, but, you know, it's Metal Gear, and it's finally on Steam, so I think people are just going to pay the full price. It will be interesting to see if a Volume 2 does come to fruition, because the rumblings now is that that's going to include MGS4, MGS5, and MGS Peace Walker. Obviously, MGS4 is the big one there. Peace Walker, pretty huge as well. Let's not get it twisted. Peace Walker's a great game, but MGS4 has been relegated to the PlayStation 3 for 15 years now. That game came out in June of 2008, and to finally unshackle that game from the hands of the PS3 will be a mighty gargantuan feat, so let's hope that does come to fruition, and let's hope you know, keyboard and mouse support is available for the Metal Gear titles on Steam. That's going to do it for me. It looks like Final Fantasy 16 will be coming to PC next on Yoshi P's to-do list. I imagine, you know, mid-2024. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see if that does come to fruition. And Metal Gear, right now, the pre-order page isn't live on Steam. Hopefully that means keyboard and mouse support will be implemented on the PC release. That'll do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.